Good morning, Facebook fans. How is everybody doing this morning? You know, it's Karen Butler with Shoot Like a Girl, and this week I was building some things for our partners, and I looked back at all these, and I swear every single Facebook Live video, I'm like, good morning, Facebook fans. I didn't mean to make that a thing, but I guess it's kind of a weird little thing I'm doing. So y'all bear with us. Hey, we have a great episode today. We've got Julie Golob from Smith & Wesson, and I'll introduce her in a second. You guys are going to love her. I'm sure y'all already know who she is. And we have Christa, and I'm also going to say that we have internet troubles like usual. So it is the first day of school where Julie's at, and everybody and their brother is on Facebook Live or live streaming school. So be patient with us as we're going to come in and out, but Julie is doing everything she can. She's a trooper. So Christa, how are you this morning? How was your weekend?
It was wonderful. It was a great 3-day weekend. I hope everyone had a great time as well. Fall is in the air here in the South. It was actually in the upper 50s in the mornings. It was great. That's why I've got my True Timber on. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's finish up from last week. Last week we had Renee Ernest with True Timber on, and you guys got to see the new hat potential, right? Karen's wearing the original Rift blue that we did. We saw a camo, and we also saw two versions of a magenta and brown camouflage with a logo on the side, one that was magenta and one that was brown. And we asked you guys to help us figure it out. Which logo do we go with? And so we took those contributions and we came up with a winner. So remember, I believe, Karen, you said the name that we would draw would win one of each of the hats. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, I have our winner from last week. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there now. And that is Amy Wilkie. So congratulations, Amy Wilkie.
Amy,
don't forget. Yay for Amy.
Hey, can I just say something about that? And then I'm going to bring Julie, and I see her right there.
Sure. Okay.
Can I just say that, hey, y'all, you were no help on choosing the color of the hat. Really? Zero. Like, everybody wants something different. So guess what we decided to do? We did a run of both. So not a small run of the brown, because magenta won the day. But you all, please know, oh my gosh, we lost Julie again. She'll come back. Please know that we're doing a very small run of the brown logo and then a bigger run of the magenta logo. So you can get those hats right now on sale at shop.shootlikeagirl.com. So we appreciate all your help, but they're not here yet, so we won't ship them until later this week. All right, so we have today Julie, and Julie will come back, I'm sure of it. She's trying her best, y'all. So here she is. There's Miss Julie. I'll put you in the middle.
Hi,
there.
guys.
Hi.
Hey.
So I'm sure everyone knows that.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Everybody is used to it. They appreciate the challenges of technology. So Julie, you and dogs barking. So Julie, you are a great ambassador for a lot of brands in the shooting sports industry. You were on the Army marksmanship team and a marksman at Fort Benning, Georgia. You are a mom. And one of the things that we want to talk to you today about, and a champion, like multiple champions, world and national. Also, you are an advocate for firearm safety. And we want to talk to you today about that firearm safety and what you're doing with our friends at Smith & Wesson with GunSmart. What a great opportunity. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please, if you're not frozen?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that wonderful intro. Smith & Wesson is obviously one of the great leaders in the industry when it comes to education. And our new vice president, Kyle Tengwall, wanted to really step up and give even more resources for new gun owners. And so they dreamed up this concept called GunSmarts, and it's basically using social media through YouTube and Facebook and our very own gunsmarts.smith-wesson.com website as a resource for new gun owners, because let's face it, you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes you're afraid to ask questions. And so it's
All right, so Julie will jump back on. So I'm going to tell you, we'll post that web link later, but the website for the videos are incredible. They really break it down for inexperienced shooters, and they have some things for experienced shooters as well. Another thing that Julie does that y'all might not know is she wrote this book called Toys, Tools, Guns, and Rules. This book I have for my grandson. I've sent it to all of my nephews. I give it as a gift to anyone that is visiting my home with small children, because it is an important resource that talks about how guns are tools. But just like you wouldn't use a chainsaw as a 5-year-old, you wouldn't use a gun or a firearm as well. And so it's a really great book that engages people in topics. And I don't know, Chris, if we told everybody, but Julie has agreed to give an autographed copy of this book to our one lucky winner who comments, likes, and shares on our video series. And so this is a great book and a great resource. You know, Julie does so much advocacy for firearm safety, and she has two things on Smith & Wesson at Gun Smarts. She talks about that conversation you should have with your kids. And it's really important that she talks about, if you are in a marriage or have a partner, that conversation should really be with the two of you, where you guys get together and you have a conversation with your kids. Don't make it a taboo kind of thing, but have that real conversation, because as she points out in the videos, even if you don't have firearms in your home, maybe you're watching our videos and you're considering getting a firearm in your home, the odds are that your kids are visiting someone that does have a firearm in their home. And so you should really pay attention to these videos in Gunsmart, and we'll post a link. Christa, you have anything?
So no, you touched on that first, and that's what we really wanted to talk about today, was that first video, right? How to speak to your children. She talks about it's a little 345, something like a 4-minute video. She's also done some more videos for Smith & Wesson, safe and responsible firearm storage, as well as the top 10 things you need to know at the range. It's a great video series on Gunsmarts. They posted them out they started posting about a month ago. As all of you know, all of us, whether it's Shoot Like a Girl, Smith & Wesson, or any of our other partners, have had to jump in this virtual world because we've been spending some time at home. And how else will we stay engaged with you guys? So hopefully Julie can pop back on here and talk a little bit about Gunsmarts, as well as her actual book, which is separate from Smith & Wesson, that she is going to give us a signed copy of.
You just talked about safety, and one of the things I want to see is, look how cute this book is. So, you know, my grandson is 8. There's Julie. I'm bringing her back in. So my grandson is 8. But when you look at these books, it's very cleverly done how the right words are really emphasized and the pictures go along. So, Julie, thank you for coming back. Can you actually go back and talk to us now a little bit more about Gunsmart? So we talked a little bit about your videos, but tell us more from your perspective why it's so important that people engage in these.
Absolutely. You know, you don't know what you don't know. And that's the big thing. And sometimes you don't even know the right questions. And so with this series, we're trying to answer the common questions and the questions you may be afraid to ask as a new gun owner, and you don't feel like it's the right thing to do, or maybe you feel stupid about it. We try to break things down, don't use the complicated lingo, and really kind of welcome new gun owners into the fold. And it's been a really fun project, and it's tested me because I've been shooting forever. and sometimes, you know, you really make assumptions. And a lot of times when you're talking to somebody, you're just going so fast, they can't keep up, and they feel silly for asking questions. And so Gunsmarts is really about that. So we're really focused on safety. Absolutely, first and foremost, as always. And then we go into the little details. And the beauty of it is we have 3 different instructors for these videos, so you get a perspective from each of us. As you all know, I mean, when you're working with different women, or you're working with different instructors in general, you pick up something each time. And so hopefully it'll be a useful resource.
Yeah, even still today, with all of your knowledge, don't you still learn something when you're hearing different instructors? Right?
Absolutely. Or even if it's just a way of presenting information a little differently, it's really, really helpful. And as an instructor too, I tailor teaching to students too. You know, if I'm with a group of fun girls, we're going to laugh it up and have a great time and maybe, you know, use some funny jokes or whatever. If I'm in a professional setting with very proper people, you know, I change the way I teach as well. So, you know, I think that's the beauty of the GunSmart series itself. So there's going to be so much. I think I've filmed 15 videos so far.
Oh,
there's going to be
great. That was one of my questions. Were there more coming? Because they're great quality, great information, and fun to watch.
Yeah, I've been working on a lot of the little stuff like how to load magazines. Here are 3 different ways that you can make this a little easier on yourself and stuff like that. So it's really fun.
Yeah. We find that at our trailer, we have these ladies that are trying to load magazines, and we'll pull out the A-Zoom snap caps, and it's really neat to teach them that you can't really do it backwards, so you don't have to worry. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
Right.
But that is a fear. And so it's really great that you're doing these videos. So how is life for you during COVID time? And yeah.
It's been a year.
I'm sorry?
It's been a strange year.
For sure. So what part of the country are you in? Are things opening back up? Are you still?
I'm in Missouri. We're in the Kansas City area. We've seen a lot of spikes in cases, and things are pretty open here. We've had a lot more respect for small businesses and that sort of thing in this area. And we're a little bit, you know, we're freedom-loving people here in Missouri. That's important, but we are starting to see a lot of spikes. You know, it seems like every day I get a notice from the school, like, oh, the football coach has COVID or something like that. So it's a constant state of flux. As far as the shooting season has gone, all but one of my matches that I had planned to attend has been canceled or postponed, which is, I think, a good thing in a lot of ways, especially like world championships where people are not traveling from overseas to compete or what have you. So it's just been a really strange year, and we just, you know, you take it in stride. But, you know, there are some silver linings. I finished remodeling my bedroom, like everybody's remodeling, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we've done a lot of work around the house and fun projects with the kiddos. So it's, you know, you have to look at it that way. You have to look at things like, yeah, maybe a strange year and life will be different forever for us because we'll remember it. But you just make do.
Well, yeah. And I think it's a big reset button for a lot of us, right? For people, especially with young children at home or their own personal activities that were taking them from their job to the next activity, to the next activity. And all they were doing was eating, sleeping, and doing those things. We've been reset as a country and as a family. And I think we can all take the positive from that and move forward.
Yeah. Have you all started gardening at all? I have a garden now. Like, who doesn't have a garden?
Well, I did. I started gardening, and then we had a monsoon for the last 2.5 months in Georgia, and everything didn't go so well. But I did attempt to grow some things. That was the process.
Our tomatoes stayed green, and our cucumbers came out yellow. I don't know. Right. But we ate them, I guess. So it was great. So Julie, I want to bring this back to shooting sports. So if we have new gun owners at home, what would your first tip be to them, right? Like, what are your top 3 things?
In order to get started in shooting sports?
Yeah, just like if I just said, hey, Julie, I just bought a new gun and I don't know what I'm doing, what would you tell me?
Okay. First thing I would tell you is to learn the 4 basic rules of firearm safety and be able to tell somebody what they mean and describe them. Don't just say, oh, yeah, I got this, but memorize them, know them, live them. That's number 1. The second thing, become familiar with your firearm. I mean, so many people buy a gun and they're like, okay, I'm just going to take it shooting on the range and I'm not going to do anything else. You can learn so much in dry fire. That's, you know, practicing without any ammunition around, and learn that those gun handling skills that are going to be very useful so you don't feel silly or nervous on the range to begin with. And the third thing is practice fundamentals. I mean, even as a professional competition shooter, that's what I'm practicing all the time. So I'm working on my stance. I'm working on my grip. I'm making sure I have good sight pictures every time I'm on the target. And of course, trigger control.
Thank you. That's great advice. So we asked anybody if you want a question for Julie. We try to keep these to 15 minutes and we're pretty close to that end. And we want you to go, Julie, what is the website for the GunSmarts? Because we're going to post that for you.
It's very simple. It's gunsmarts.smith-wesson.com.
All right, we will post that in our comments and make sure that everybody gets that. We can't wait to see more videos. We, while you dropped off, we were talking about it. Both Krista and I have watched them. We absolutely love them. And since you're in Missouri, I would love to invite you. We're at Table Rock Lake this coming weekend.
Oh, wow.
Down on the water, there's a whole bunch of Boy Scouts. There's going to be some events. For a lot of it, it's more of a, it's a different event for us. There's going to be a lot of adults, but a lot of scouts as well. And we would love for you to come visit us and hang out with us for the day. We'd love to show you what we do and get you in that trailer.
I can't believe it's been all these years and I haven't done it yet. I'm embarrassed, actually.
Well, no, you're a little busy. You're kind of a celebrity. I don't know if you realize that, but you're kind of a celebrity. You're a little busy.
And then while we have Julie on, Karen, let's quickly, if we can, talk about her book, since she was off when we started talking about it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there you go.
It is.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my, no, this is like one of my, so I've had really fortunate opportunity when there's some kind of school kid brings a toy gun to school or something. The news is really good about bringing me on to talk about gun safety. This is one of the things I always tell parents to go do and have that conversation with your kids, because it's so important. And it's a step that we used to teach it in school, and we don't teach firearm safety in school anymore. And so it's really up to us. And your book is really one of the best resources out there for parents with small children to say, hey, look, and even bigger children, even though it's a I think they find the right message in here. So it's a great book. You want to say anything about your book? What caused you to write it?
Well, I have two girls, and I was looking for resources. And granted, our universal message in the firearm safety world is spot on. Stop, don't touch, tell an adult, that sort of thing. And Eddie Eagle is great as well. But I wanted something with a little bit more information. I wanted to go over the dangerous parts of a firearm, so they aren't just like, oh, don't touch this thing. And so going through that experience, having a now 12-year-old and a 7-year-old, they got to go through the process of writing the book with me and that sort of thing. And it's been a really neat experience to have people reach out to me and say that this is a good tool for their families, because having that conversation, as you said, Karen, that's how we keep kids safe. I mean, and then they teach their kids, because it's something they learned when they were young, and it's so important.
Yeah.
I do see a question in one of our chats here. They would like to know where to purchase that book.
Oh, well, it's right on Amazon. You can just do a search for it, or you can go to my website. It's listed there. There's a link easily. Julie Golob.
Thank you.
I always say your name wrong. I'm sorry, Julie.
It's okay. Sometimes I do too.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Julie, we're getting ready to wrap up. Is there anything that you would like to tell the ladies out there?
I just want you guys to know that you have such a support group with these ladies here. And not only is it a great experience to go shoot with them in a trailer, but just the fact alone that you guys are such a big community and supporting one another through this time and throughout, even if it isn't tough. That's just so awesome. So don't be afraid to ask questions and connect with your fellow Shoot Like a Girl ladies, because it's a valuable experience.
Thanks, Julie. All right, y'all, you guys, I'm going to turn it over to Kristen. I'm going to tell you goodbye. I really appreciate y'all following us, and please like, comment, and share. And Krista, you want to wrap it up?
Yes. Thank you, Julie, so much for coming on. And we are glad to know that you are human just like we are and have technical difficulties. We are usually the queens of technical difficulties. Between that and dogs barking, we've won the award. So welcome to our small community, right?
Thank you. You see my truck flying through town to find a good Wi-Fi spot, because it's that important.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know your girls probably started school today as well. Oop, there goes my camera. So we'll let you get back to them. Everyone watching, whether you're live or in replay, please don't forget, like, comment, and share. Someone will be the lucky winner of the autographed book of Julie's that we were just talking about. You have a book. What are you talking about? All right, everyone. Have a safe week. We will be, Shoot Like a Girl will be at Table Rock Lake this week for a conservation event. We're very excited, and maybe we'll see some of our followers or their Boy Scouts there.
All right, y'all have a great weekend or week.
Bye,
I guess it's a
everyone.
week.
Yeah,
Bye.
it's still a week.